All right, folks, welcome to VIP pre-market prep. Sorry, about a minute late, and sorry I don't have my better screen up. I was having trouble with that software, so back to the old software this morning. All right, guys, we are killing it every day. Let's see if we can do it again. First of all, it's Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. Okay, we have FOMC at 2 o'clock. Markets close tomorrow, half day Friday, going into a period of extreme volatility, usually after Thanksgiving. Keep all that in mind. This morning, we have jobless claims numbers came out worse than expected. All right. So just be prepared. We don't know which way it's going to go. We've been talking about this for a while. We're in between. We're at a level of indecision in between these key moving averages. I've been leaning towards the last couple of days, especially towards testing that 405 and then hope, maybe getting a pullback. But we got to play day by day. It could go either direction. And going into this period of kind of unknowns, you may want to be a little take risk off the table by end of the day today. Change up my allocations a little bit, and we'll see how it goes the next few days after that. So there you have it. You can see not a lot of movement, low volume, SPY, QQQ. Maybe there's a little bit of action in TLT up and UUP down because of the bad jobless numbers. But I'm, I don't know, reserving judgment on that because of the low volume today. Really, again, in this period of indecision. All right, we got lots of things to talk about. First thing, Tesla. Yesterday morning, I talked about Tesla like for the first time in forever. At least talked about it in a bullish way, in a good way, for the first time in forever. We talked about this 200-week moving average getting close, RSI low. Now, I don't know if I said it yesterday, but I should have said it, that as you approach these support lines, it's a risk-reward thing, right? So not necessarily do you want to wait till it touches it. Each one of you will come up with a different strategy, right? I was waiting. Right. What I often do is like I'll wait for another pillar to hit, like a catalyst, news event, or something, and I might miss that exact bottom. So that's what I did. It was nearing the 200-week moving average. Yeah, you could have said, let me get some because it's approaching that better risk reward. But anyway, it was at the top of my list. And then this morning, news came out from Citi analyst who was had a sell rating raised from sell to neutral with a price target, raised the price target from like the 130s to 176 by Citigroup. And then there was an article I shared with you from Barron's that also had an analyst, I believe, was it Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan? I forget which one. It was from one of them. I'm not even sure if I can find it in this feed, with really good commentary from another analyst. Between the two analysts, I mean, they were basically saying this could be a value play at these levels. And one of the analysts, I think from Citi, said actually a deep recession would be great for Tesla because all the competition would like die and Tesla would emerge even stronger. So, basically saying 150 is like the worst case bear scenario, and we're almost there. So changing our rating. So I jumped in this morning because I was already interested at near these levels. I jumped in this morning. I don't know what my average is. Maybe around here, right? Because I was averaging up during this little initial spike. I got in right at 7 a.m. and I kept on adding. It was rising. So maybe my averages are 173.50 right now. I think there's a potential. You'd have strong resistance, pre-market resistance at 175. I think there is a potential for this to squeeze to this gap fill area with the first target here where it gapped open at about 176. But really, I'm kind of looking at 180, the close of prior day. That's where I'm hoping for. Like if we reach there, I'm going to be completely out. But definitely got to get past this tricky 175 area first. And I'll admit it's on a tricky, scary day, with FOMC and right before the holidays. But when did he ever hear two Wall Street analysts together coming in and saying all these really great positive things? Value play. Who would have you heard? When would you have heard Wall Street analysts saying Tesla is a value play? So this is incredible. I'm playing Tesla this morning. Deere, we got a hint from TWI, from the chairman of the board yesterday in the letter, say, hey, Deere's doing great. They're going to report this week. I mean, I think that was like a wink and a nod. Maybe they knew something. They were helping out their own shareholders to get into some Deere. But Deere absolutely blew it away over here. I guess I didn't get a great entry. It's down. I think I got in like between 431 and 433, maybe like a 432.5 entry. But just looking at the math here, let's see. What was it? $7.44 beat 7-Eleven. But even more importantly was their guidance for 2023. They're guiding for basically, that little exercise, a little cheat code I like to do on day one of earnings is to take the most recent earnings and annualize it, then throw on the existing trailing PE on it for a quick price target. I do that very often. You got to be careful to do that with businesses that their earnings, they're sustainable and it's not seasonal. So I wasn't sure about the seasonality of Deere, so I took time to find the press release. I was like, scram, like, where's the press release? I was dying to find it. Took a long time to find it for some reason. Finally found the full press release and I read the guidance. And guess what? You can basically annualize this number. Continued momentum going into 2023. They gave guidance for about the midpoint of their guidance was about over $27 a share, which is pretty close to annualizing the 744. So if you slap the existing trailing 20 PE on that, you get to a number that's like $560, right? So obviously it's not going to $560 today, but between $560 and $430 that it is right now, I think that this is a good risk reward in terms of the stock having an upward bias on dips today. I think the dips are buyable, and this stock is going to end up trending upward. It's a I don't think with a blowout like that, you're going to get to 416. All right. It's going to find a level in here and it's going to go. It's going to go. All right. That's my prediction. Could be wrong. So actually, I might even buy more after the show here because it's dipped down further from where I got in. So that's the story in that. TWI, I think you'll see a tailwind because of the Deere earnings. You already see a little bit of pre-market action, only 665 shares. Not so meaningful, but it did have a great end of the day run here. 6 PE, all right, as opposed to the 20 PE on Deere. Same sector, MACD flip, RSI relatively low, above all the key DMAs. I like this stock for a continued swing. What else do we have here? Oh, just want to point out natural gas. I just saw this right before it came on. Is up 8% because of weather forecast, a cold weather forecast, colder than expected, or something like that. It just saw. Well, look at this nice W pattern in natural gas, breaking above the 200 DMA. Wowzers. Okay, so that made me think, all right, well, what else is good for cold weather and natural gas? Maybe BTU. Now, BTU has been very strong. We had a big winner in this in a trade that we recommended to sell puts, $25 puts. And I may keep on doing this. This is a cash flow machine. So even if the stock is put to you, that'll be great stock to buy and collect the cash flow. You can sell covered calls against it. This looks like it wants to break out and challenge a $33 high. It's down this morning because I think BTU really moves in tandem with the XLE. And I'm not an energy expert. I don't know why energy is down this morning. Maybe it's because of the jobs number came in light right now and recession worries. So you have XLE and you have USE down. So maybe that's pulling down call this morning. So I don't know really what's going to happen with BTU, but it's just a guess that if natural gas is up because of cold weather, I put in a note to Matt S., who put BTU on our radar. I want to see what he feels about cold weather and how that usually does for BTU. But other than that, the cash flow great, the chart beautiful, the RSI good, the premiums great, selling puts. I just love this stock. DKS, we just killed it yesterday. If you didn't participate, you pull out the video from YouTube and you'll see how we called it and why we called it based on the 4 pillars. Closed at 117. This morning got 2 price target upgrades that I saw, or 3 now. That's the third one from Citigroup. We got 140, we have 143, we have 135, all of these. So 3 new price targets out this morning with a 24% short position. I'm going to be watching this. This is something I might want to buy the dips on. Try to find support levels. Maybe right in here, 115 is a support level or so, possibly 115.50, something like that. But this is something that could have continued upward momentum with the RSI still relatively low and potentially at kind of a breakout level here. You see this. It's not too far from breaking like 118, 119. I think yesterday I said the resistance zone was 118 to 120. If it breaks out of 118 to 120 range, I think you can have a quick shot to 130. So this is something I'm going to keep my eyes on for a possible trade. MBLY had a good day yesterday. I had a bad entry the other day. To be honest with you, I don't know. This is something I'm looking at. It just looks like a lot of chop. I don't have a clear signal on this chart, and it just looks like extremely choppy. So I don't know. Just because of the chart, really, honestly, and the choppiness and the lack of history, I might be looking to get out of this soon. I'm still a little underwater on my most recent entry. Had a bad entry there on MBLY. So we'll have to see. Don't have a good feel for it and don't love that choppiness feel to the chart. Clearfield, we've been killing it. Oh, by the way, someone told me I've been making mistakes saying Clearfield. It's not Clearfield, it's Clearfield. So Clearfield, just killing it. Got into our initial target, 125. Next target area is 130. RSI starting to get a little bit stretched, but yeah, I've been taking some off the table last couple of days of my trading shares, still holding all of my core shares. You know, the fundamental story, 150 to 200 target in the IRA. And with the trading shares, I think we have another at least $5 to go, possibly, and we'll take it from there once we reach that level. CTMX, I'm still holding this swing. I've been pretty greedy about this, and maybe it's not good. I don't know. I'm not selling on the way up. I'm selling it too. I just think everything is set up so perfectly to tag two, and maybe I've made a mistake not selling on the way up. But we'll see. And if it somehow reverses and I feel like it's going to miss the target, then I'll bail. But right now, I'm still holding. You know the whole story, the sentiment, the catalyst, the technicals, the fundamentals. We don't need to rehash that. If you haven't been tuning in about CTMX, go ahead and take a look at some of our old videos up on YouTube, and you can get the full story. YTRA looking for a $3 breakout again, based on the signal from Matt on the fundamentals and the technicals from Rex. However, I think it was Tuesday. That worries me a little bit, because if the thesis here is the IPO, you don't want another catalyst to come in the middle and potentially derail that, right? What if their earnings miss or something? So I'm a little bit worried about that, and I'm going to reach out to Matt and see what he thinks about earnings, and maybe I'll look at the last earnings report to see what kind of risk we'll be taking holding this into over the weekend and into Tuesday. So that's something I want to do a little bit of homework on, or if someone in the community can do that homework and let us know what they think of earnings for Tuesday, that would be a worthwhile exercise. XXII, made back most of its losses because of the fire, so that's good to see. But we're just in a holding pattern. We're trying to make a meeting with the CEO for our VIP Zoom community soon. Couple other things I want to point out before I get to AIRG. TFFP, what a call by Dan Carlson. We interviewed him a couple weeks ago after this right here. This news, right? Opened at 160, closed at 174, and we asked him, well, what's the play? And he was like, avoid the stock for now until they do their raise, and they're going to have to raise money. When they do the raise, get back in. Man, was he ever right. What a call. Went from 160 that day, 165, at the close of 174 that day, and look, all the way down to $1. I think that was the date we interviewed him. If it wasn't this day, it was, I don't know, it was somewhere around here, but it went all the way to about $1. They did their raise, low of 106. And right after they did the raise, right here, he could have bought the gap open on that raise and been up from 110 all the way to the 140s. You see the 20 DMA is 166 here. So excellent call by Dan Carlson, trying to give you value from other contributors on the morning show. And if you tuned into that, you benefited by listening to him on that call. AIRG, we missed this yesterday morning because the news came out 8:15 a.m. at the end of our show, 9:15 a.m. AIRG, we recently interviewed the CEO, so you can go look at that CEO. Actually, no, the CEO interview. You go in the app, and you can see the replay in the app. We haven't published the public interview yet. So it's a nice little company that it didn't seem like their business was inflecting or exploding or anything like that. It didn't seem like there was anything to get too excited about, but value-wise, it was, a nice little situation. But now all of a sudden, yesterday at 9:15, we get this press release that might be something that could inflect the company, something to get excited about, not only from a sentiment perspective, but also a deal size perspective. AirGain secures multi-million-dollar contract with EV charging leader. What? Whoa, where'd that come from, right? EV charging, that reminds me of air, right? So this is interesting. And we've reached out to the CEO, trying to connect Sanjay with him to learn more. CEO's on vacation for Thanksgiving, though. So he's not going to be back till next week. But in any case, multi-million-dollar contract from an EV charging company. And there's lots of EV charging companies out there, right? So this is very, very interesting all of a sudden. And I don't have high confidence in this because I don't know the nature of this deal. I want to talk to the CEO. I want to learn what's the TAM over here. What's the potential from this one client? It says multi-million. Give us some color around that. Give us some idea, what are you doing exactly? What's the competition look like? How sustainable? Really want to learn about this whole potentially new gigantic sector they're going in. EV charging. So that's very, very interesting. I may take a starter position if the price looks good on a pullback or something like that until I have a chance to learn more. But definitely, especially given our experience in air, this is something that's worth investigating and potentially something that's worth taking a starting position in until we learn more. I also want to point out Disney, man, we pointed this. This line works too. What is this? This is the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. These 200 moving averages, they work on many time frames. You got to go and look at individual stocks. Each stock has its own behavior, right? This is more for like intraday trading, looking at that 5-minute line. But I posted this the other day. It bounced perfectly right off of that line. You know the story with Bob Iger. 96.43. I don't have a lot of confidence today. It's because of that chart, and it's below the key moving averages. But it was just interesting that it held that line. And if you're looking for a pullback and you like the Bob Iger thesis, that was a good entry that we called out yesterday in the VIP chat room. So with that, let's not make the mistake we made yesterday, and let's look at our newsfeed to see if there's anything breaking between 9 a.m. and 9:15 a.m. So we have, the 143, right, that we talked about. That was new. I thought it was only 135 and 140, so we have 143 as well in DIX, and that's it. Okay, so guys, I'll be focusing today on trading Tesla and Deere, maybe DIX, maybe, ADM. Did I skip it? ADM, all-time high breakout. I'm predicting it today. We'll see if it happens, right? I'm not a certified financial advisor. This is our crystal ball. We've been talking about it for a long, long time, increasing our chatter around it the last few days as it's riding up that 20 DMA, and it had this nice volume day yesterday, made it our trade of the week idea along with what? You guys remember? What did I put it in with? I put an ADM with, with MBLY. Okay, so we're doing good. And I think we're in second place in that competition after the first day. So in any case, I am predicting an all-time high breakout. Let's make it happen, guys. Let's make it happen. The all-time high at $98.88. RSI still relatively low. And I'm looking for a 105 swing target after we break out of that. All right, guys, good luck. What was it again? Tesla, DE, ADM, and DIX, and maybe pick up a little AIRG. That's the agenda that I'm having for today. Good luck, folks. Listen, today, 4:30 p.m., let me know. We usually do this collaborative Zoom, but it's on the eve of Thanksgiving. A lot of people are traveling. If you want to talk about something today, let me know, and then we'll do the Zoom, all right? Because otherwise, I have a bunch of things I could take care of today at 4:30 p.m., so we'll see. So that's a tentative event, 4:30 collaborative Zoom, but I will do the 4 p.m. post-market wrap. And with that, hey, if you're listening to the replay here, then you've already missed all the great tips and all the great ideas from our newsfeed and how we analyze stocks based on the 4 pillars. So if you want to see this live every morning at 9 a.m., head on over to StoryTrading.com and sign up for a 7-day free trial, and you can become part of our community. And with that, I wish everyone a great day.